Here we go. Okay, it's August 4th, Thursday, August 4th. We're just going to go over the morning session. Hopefully I can get it done fairly quickly so I don't leave David hanging on the line like I did yesterday by accident. Um, let's go over the Russell first, all right? We traded a bunch of markets this morning, including corn. And Charles, are you in here right now? Charles isn't in here right now. I traded corn twice this morning. Once I lost and once I won. Had I done it the way that I normally would do it, I would have probably won both of them. But anyway, we're going to go back to the Russell from the open. All right. Again, all the orange arrows are trades that set up that I missed for one reason or another. Maybe I was trading another market or something. But I do have to make a little disclaimer about the beginning here. I didn't like the way the market was whipping around in the beginning, so I wanted to wait until I had a couple of continuation trades on one side of the market before I started to trade it. All right. Now over here, this is the Russell 2000. This is a 3-tick range chart, which means every bar is 3 ticks in height. Now, what that means, just so you know, for anybody that doesn't know the difference between a tick chart and a range chart, a tick chart is a transaction chart. So every transaction counts as 1 tick. On this range chart, a tick is a movement in price. Okay, so each bar is 3 ticks high. That said, what we look for here is a break of the elbow. This is the elbow right here. So we want to close down below the elbow and then a close down below that. My first trade right here was a losing trade. See right here pretty early on, I took a losing trade, lost 6 ticks. That was followed up right here with a winning trade. Another winning trade on the other side right here. You closed above the elbow, then closed above that. So the entry was right in here, and that moved up to profit. Over here was a continuation trade where we closed above the elbow and closed above that. Let me slide the arrow out of the way so you can see it a little better. And that eventually moved up to profit. Let me scroll along here a little bit. I'm not going to go over every trade. There were a whole bunch of them. All right, there was a whole bunch of opportunity this morning. We ended the morning up, I don't know, 15 or 20 ticks, something like that. But you can see I lost this first trade, then I missed all these trades. The market was going, it was really jumpy in here, so I purposefully didn't take any of these trades. And some of them worked out really well, you can see. You know, if you'd have gotten in this trade here, the entry was right here at 8.5, had a low over here of 7. That's 15 ticks or $150 a contract. And that took about a minute. That's pretty good living if you can make $150 a minute. Over here, the next minute, it did it again from 58.3 down here to 56.1. So 8.3 to 6.1, that's $220 in that minute. Now, understand that this can go the other way on you as well. All right, full disclosure, it can go both ways. That's why we have the most we risk is 6 ticks on these trades. We only risk 6 ticks or $60 a contract per trade. And you can see right here, another win. This one right here, we gave back $60. Over here was a win. And just keep scrolling through them here. You'll see it's now 9:48. And at this point in the day, you could have been up, you know, quite a bit. If you'd have been able to get all those trades and take all those trades, you'd have been up quite a bit. My computer's reacting really slowly here because I have so many darn things open. But I'm going to try to close a couple and hopefully save a little memory here. And let's see, we just scrolled all the way back here. Now you can see in here I started to take the trades again. What I was waiting for to take the trades was a couple of continuation trades in the same direction. Okay, that's what I was looking for. And we did get that over here. All right, we had a break down below the elbow right here, and then it closed down below that. Then over here we had a trade right here I didn't mark up for whatever reason, but it was a short right here. Over here I think it was inside. Yeah, the chop bands down here were inside. The red was inside the black. That's why this was not a trade. Over here this was a good trade that worked. Over here the chop bands again were inside, so we didn't take that. But I did take this one for 10 ticks. I took this one for 10 ticks. Over here, the chop bands were inside on both of these. And you can see that's just how the Russell works. And over again, the yellow ones are the trades that I actually took, and the orange ones are trades that I missed. Okay, so you can see there were a bunch of orange trades there that I missed. Oops, that yellow cross that you just saw there, that's a trade that I took that I lost. Alright, if you see yellow arrows crossing like that, that means it was a losing trade. Okay, let's see. And since then, I stopped at 11:30, and since then there was a trade here, there was a trade here, there was a trade here. Hang on, I'm waiting for my cursor to catch up. There's a trade. There's a trade there. There's one over here that lost. There's a trade here, and a trade right here that both won. And there's one setting up right now. There's one setting up. So what we need right now is a close up above here. Okay, that's what we'd be looking for. So I'm going to minimize the Russell, and I am going to bring back some other market here, the YM. We had a good morning on the YM. I think our YM tally for the day, plus 42 ticks on the YM. Okay, let's go over here, plus 15 on the Russell, plus 10 on the corn, break even on the ES, and on the YM I am plus 42. Okay, that was all in the first 2 hours today. Now, YM trades. There's one right here that I missed, one right here that I missed, but I'll go back to the ones that happened this morning. Okay. The YM is on a 500 contract chart, which means every bar represents 500 contracts traded. All right. Now, we'll start here. All right, my first trade of the morning, we had a bearish cross of the BBC right here, so I traded the pullback up to the BBC, and I stopped out on that one. Then we had a bullish cross, and I went long after the up close right here. The bounce off the BBC and the up close after the bullish cross, and I got 20 ticks out of that. The cross back down right here. I had my order waiting right here. It filled me. Gave me 20 ticks right there. There's continuation trades in here as well. Alright, this one over here didn't work out. Now on my YM, I have a 7x20 bracket. Once today, maybe twice, I extended that to a 9x20 bracket. That means 9 ticks risk for a 20 ticks profit. That's what I look for. Alright. Okay, over here there was nothing going on. Over here, the pullback was right up in here. Alright, and that moved down to profit. It pulled back again, and it continued down, but you would have had to have some maybe 15 ticks risk on that one. Once it crossed down again, this one pulled up, but it didn't go all the way up to the BBC. This one right here was the one that did go all the way to the BBC. I like the first opportunity off the BBC. That's what I look for after the cross. So it crossed up here, and there was another one right there. Okay, that was the YM morning. The ES, we had some good trades on the ES today. Well, we had a couple of trades on the ES. Let me just point them out slowly here. I only took one, and I got a break even on it. It was a sandbox long trade. Yeah, it's not going to be here on the 10K, so I'll just show you the trades on the 10K. We had a bullish cross right here and a pullback down to the BBC for a long trade. All right. Over here, we had a bearish cross and a pullback up to the BBC for a short trade right in here. All right. I didn't take any of these trades this morning. We had a bullish cross right here and a pullback down that pulled down too far. All right, and then it chopped around in there a little bit. Over here we had a bearish cross that pulled up to the BBC and moved down. A bullish cross here that pulled down to the BBC, and it moved from here at 34.5 up here to 36.75 before it dropped back down through it. So that met the 2-point target there. All right, because there's a 2-point bracket around these trades. Sorry about that. We had a bearish cross right here that pulled up and kept going. All right, so there was a couple points lost on that one if you took it. All right, I did not take that trade. Not sure why my chart's getting all crunched up here, but you can see right here, right out of the open here, we had a bearish cross with a pullback up to the BBC. That's how the ES ran on the 10K this morning. Now, from an intraday standpoint, this chart right here is not a Globex chart. All right, so we had a 14.25 point gap down from last night, and it just kept going. So what Dwayne was selling yesterday is sell the news, sell the fact, and then just keep selling and selling and selling and selling, and that's what everybody seems to be doing. Let's see, we're going to jump over here to the 2100 tick. We did have a couple of sandbox trades here. This was not one, okay, but we did have one earlier. We had one or two of them over here earlier. Let me scroll back. I thought I outlined them. Yeah, there was a sandbox trade right here. This was a sandbox short trade right here at 1044. That worked out fine. This was a sandbox that I took that came back and got me a break even before. It went within a tick of my profit target. And I moved my stop up to break even on it. And then it went down through my profit target. This over here was a sandbox on the long side right here. Okay, and again, we're looking at 2 points here, so your entry would have been at 34.5, and it got up to 36.75, so you would have gotten your 2 points profit on that one. So there were 3 sandbox trades on the, here, I'll draw them in again. There's one, and this is the other one. So the yellow arrows are the ones that I took, and these orange arrows are the other 2. Those were the sandbox trades on the ES. So we had 3 sandbox trades on the ES. All 3 of them won. If I hadn't chased my stop up, then there was 6 points available there in sandbox trades. And on the YM, I don't think I went over how many points were available. Well, let's just suffice it to say there were probably about... I got 42, and there was more than that. I would say there's probably 60 available on the YM using the bracket that I have. Now, I'm going to go over 2 more things in here. One is going to be the corn. All right. When the corn opened up, I was a little late getting in it on the long side. All right. What I should have done is I should have had a buy stop in right here on the long side, and I missed it. I hadn't put the order on. It would have gone right to my profit target, which is 4 cents up there. Okay. What I did instead is I flipped down to a smaller time frame and I bought the BBC over here, and that gave me about a cent. I don't know, it gave me about a cent profit. I didn't buy it over here, I bought it where the arrow is right here. It gave me about a cent profit, maybe a cent and a half profit, but I was looking for 4. And then it turned against me and it stopped me out for a 2 cent loss. But at the same time, I had put a sell stop order on down here at 96.50. At 96.50. And that one filled in the break between the morning session and the afternoon session. That one filled right here and went right down to my profit target. And that's the thing about corn. When it moves, guys, it really moves. But that one filled and went right down to the profit target. Okay, so I ended up, I lost 2 cents on the corn this morning, and I made 4 cents on the corn this afternoon. All right. Okay, and I'm going to pull up gold here. I didn't trade gold this morning, but it was definitely there. All right, I'll show it on the 5-minute with what the BBC probably, right? You can see I have the elbow and the BBC on here this morning. Coming out of the elbow this morning, gold. Gold was way down here at 1670.8. It went all the way up 14 cents up here to 84 from there. And then it turned around and it dropped down. So down here we're breaking the elbow. And you could have been selling the BBC over here once you had gotten inside the elbow here. Selling the BBC. And in that case you would have been selling 1680 all the way down to 53. for a 27 cent gain. For those of you who don't know, it's $100, $27 gain, $27 gain is what I mean. It's $100 a dollar, right? Correct me if I'm wrong there, Bert. Yeah, I'm gonna make you an organizer anyway. Yep. Yep. And $150 and it killed it. Right there. And if you drop that down, if you don't like the 5-minute, though, I did make an effort this morning to take a long-term trade, and we'll get to that disaster in a minute here. But but if we look at this right here, this is a six-tick range chart on the gold for the morning, and I went over this in the morning session a little bit. There was easily $1,000 available here this morning. There isn't every day, but the break of the elbow, then a close up above it, and that's just right there from 12 o'clock. Even before 12 o'clock, there was a ton of money available. Now, and I have to say, you can lose money as fast as you can make it, even faster sometimes. But on the way down, right here, 1660 would have been the entry right here after the break of the elbow. Okay, so you would have been 1660 there down to 1655. So that's $15 right there. $15 on the big contract. That's $1,500 per contract. All right, just to keep it all in perspective. All right, now let me jump over to my my attempt at a long-term trade this morning. I did everything right. I had a plan. I executed my plan, and I let it go. I did definitely have profit in the trade. Hang on, I'm trying to bring it up here. I did have profit in the trade. I had about $275 profit in the trade at one point. And I'll show it to you here on the 5-minute. What I did, oops. I'll show you where I actually traded. I traded it off a 4-tick range chart. This is the 6E, or the euro, all right, from this morning. And the trade that I took was off the weekly trading zone. My plan had been to go zone to zone. All right. I don't know why that arrow is drawn on there. But my plan had been to go zone to zone. The zones just disappeared on me. Hang on a minute. Let me bring them back up. I got to redo this so it'll put the zones back on. All right. So this is the zone right here. 45.50 is the zone, in case it goes away again in a minute. And this was my trade. There it is, 45.50. I was waiting for price to get down below the zone and for it to break the elbow below the zone. All right. So here it got down below the zone, and here it broke the elbow over here at 10 o'clock. All right. I think I shorted right over here at 10 something. Yeah, I shorted right over here at 141.21 was my entry, and you can see it dropped all the way down here from there. It dropped all the way down here, giving me $275 contract profit. I was trying to trade it zone to zone because usually usually the 6E or the euro will move zone to zone. It'll usually do it pretty well. And little caveat with that is it usually does it in the pre-market. Before the U.S. markets open up, it seems to travel a little more directly. But anyway, I had $275 profit in here, and if I had been managing the trade, if I had been paying attention to it, I would have taken my risk off. I would have had my risk somewhere up above here, giving me some sort of profit on the trade, maybe break even. But I was just gonna put the trade on and let it go, whatever it was gonna do. My risk was above this double top that we had right here. I put my risk up here at 57. All right, so my entry was here at 21 My risk was at 57, so I had 36 ticks risk. My target was 100 ticks away. I had a 36 by 100 bracket going on that. Okay, 36 by 100. So I was looking 3-to-1 risk reward. I definitely did get some reward in it, but I didn't take it at the time. And it turned around and it came back up and it popped me out. It went back and forth in here for a while at break even. And eventually, I'm scrolling over. Eventually it came back up to the zone and I was thinking, alright, well it's back at the zone. Maybe it's just going to bounce off the zone again and test the zone. But right here it popped me out. It went up to 58 right there and I was at 57. So for me that was a long-term trade. That was about an hour. And for me that is an eternity. Like I was telling Bert earlier, I was expecting to get a statement in the mail on that one. And from there, let's see. It's gone back and forth quite a bit right now. I think it's still chopping around the zone right here. So it could, by the end of the day, it could go down to where I expect it to go, but it's just chopping right around this zone. So, on the morning, we lost 36 ticks on that attempt, but we gained 42 on the YM. Right now, so far, 15 on the Russell, 10 on the corn, and we're break even on the ES. So all in all, we're green on the day, even with that. All right, and that was the morning session. So I'm gonna stop my recording right here, and try that again.